Have you ever been to Rowntree Park? I bet most of you have. You probably recognize the park from these images. It's a large park with lakes, a library, cafe, tennis courts, skate parks, basketball courts, play parks, and much more. 2021 is Rowntree Park centenary. That means it's 100 years old. Let's find out about some of the history of the park.
Rowntree Park was set up following the First World War. The war lasted from 1914 to 1918 and was known as the War to End All Wars. No longer were battles short, there was a new kind of warfare as technology had improved, which meant more weapons and new ways of fighting. People thought the war would be over by Christmas, but it went on for 4 long years. Millions of people died and many were badly injured. In York, the Rowntree family owned a chocolate factory and many of their male workers had gone off to war. When the war ended, Joseph Rowntree wanted a way to remember his cocoa workers who had died and a way to help those who had been injured in the war and the families of those who had died. Joseph Rowntree opened Rowntree Park on the 16th of July 1921. Rowntree wanted the park to be a place to remember those who died, but he also wanted it to be a place for their families and the injured to be able to spend time. He wanted the park to provide a place for rest, recovery, and bring health and happiness to lives in years to come.
When the park first opened, there was a park keeper who lived in the lodge with his family. James Bell was the first park keeper, nicknamed Parky Bell. He wore a dark blue uniform with brass buttons and peaked hat. He was said to be strict and would blow a whistle when anyone misbehaved. He used to ring a bell when everyone had to leave the park.
In Rowntree Park there used to be tropical birds and guinea pigs. It was more like a zoo than a park because there were animals there.
In Rowntree Park there used to be guinea pigs and tropical birds and bunny rabbits.
In the 1960s, there were ponies and carts in the park led by Walter Smith. It was around 3p a ride.
In the 1970s, Sam Martian brought donkeys to the park. They were called Paddy, Danny and Ruby.
They were also called Nancy, Sally and Bimbo.
There used to be paddle boats in Rowntree Park that people could hire. In the early days, some of the boats were named after the 7 dwarfs: Grumpy, Dopey, Doc, Happy, Bashful, Sneezy and Sleepy. It would have been funny hearing the boat's people shout, "Oi, Dopey!" Sadly, by the 1980s, the boats were no longer in use. They needed lots of repairs. Lots of people remember the little red boats fondly. As well as boats to hire, lots of people used sail model boats on the lake too.
Rowntree Park used to have a swimming pool.
There was a swimming pool that opened in 1924. There was a balcony to sunbathe on, a diving board and a chute.
I've learnt that Rowntree Park has a swimming pool, but it didn't have much heating, so it was very chilly.
In World War II, the pool was closed a lot because the army needed to train in it.
Some people remember a man with a sweet trolley outside the pool. You can throw money at him and he will throw sweets back at you from the balcony.
In 1979, the park flooded badly and it did a lot of damage to the pool. The pool remained closed and faced further floods and vandalism.
In 1985, it was decided to knock the swimming pool down.